Hi, my name is Clark Turner and I'm the founder of ProServe Alliance. This video series that we're starting today is all about hiring. We're going to have a bunch of videos in this series talking about who to hire, when to hire, how to hire, all of your questions of when do I do this, how do I do this, how do I find the right person. We're going to answer all of those in this series. So starting off though, contractors hire usually the opposite way you want to do it. You're working, you've got jobs going, let's say you renovate kitchens or bathrooms or you're a painter. You go in, you've got a lot of jobs going, you got 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs going, your schedule's starting to fill up and you say, I need to hire someone so I can dump some of these jobs on them and that allows me to take on more work. That is the absolute wrong way to hire. The hard part in hiring is the prep work before making a hire. You are not ready to hire unless you've got written processes and procedures of a step-by-step how your renovations work. ProServe Alliance shows exactly how to do this. We have a live quarterly, we do live seminars in Atlanta where you come to our training and you learn our project management process. It's a 10-step project management process from first intake with the client all the way through final invoice. And it really is the way that we train the project managers at my general contracting company. It shows you step by step, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. And we give you those steps and we help you edit them to make them your company, to put in your secret sauce that makes you successful to where when you take it home with you back to your company, it can be implemented and you can train guys on how exactly you want your company to operate. So it's really cool. But going back to that, we have a step-by-step org chart that also shows you how to hire, who to hire, when to hire. It is a org chart of, okay, this is you. This is your first hire. This is your second hire. This is your third. This is when you hire an office manager. This is how you hire the different project managers. This is how you get ahead of renovations. And it's really a easy to follow step-by-step guide, one hire at a time. So where you know, okay, today I am a 2B and I want to get to a 3A by the time we hit December or whenever your goals are. So it's a really cool org chart that we give to you if you're a ProServe Alliance member and walk you through where you're at today and where you could be a year from now and where you can be 5 years from now and the goal for you and your company. You know, not everyone wants to duplicate the multiple cities and have 5 different branches of their company. Though our system sets up for that where you can build a franchise and that sort of thing, we also look at when do you want to retire? What is your end goal? One of our org charts says, okay, this is where you can stop. You're making 4 to 5 million in revenue per year, which means you're taking home X, which means you should be able to retire and step out of the company and let it be in self-maintenance mode to where we figure out, what do you want? Do you want to sit on a beach in the next 5 years? Do you want to duplicate the 7 cities? Do you want to franchise your company? We have the basis and the framework to allow you to do that. So getting back to hiring, most people, when they get to the spot where they are ready to make a hire, they've got a really great product, right? You have a lot of people coming in, a lot of new clients coming because your product is good. They talk to their neighbor about you. They talk to their cousin about you. You know, most of our referrals come from word of mouth. It's very hard to land it any other way because it's a big spend for homeowners and they want to make sure they get the right person and they trust their neighbors and family. So you've got this really good product. You don't really know how you created the product, but you do know that you're really good at renovating homes. You're really good at painting. You're really good at whatever you do, and it's time to make a hire. If you hire incorrectly, you bring someone in, you trust them with your name and reputation, and if you don't micromanage that person, they are going to ruin your name and reputation. You do not hire by just saying, hey, come, watch what I do, come with me, let's put you in, here's some of my clients, take this and run. You know, we had 2 bad hires probably 4 years ago at my company, my general contracting company. Within 2 hires, we calculated it from their salaries that were wasted because they made us no money, from the 4 jobs that they messed up. One of the jobs I had to write a check for $25,000 because we did an do something in the process correctly and acclimating their hardwoods, I had to rip them all out and replace them because my project manager didn't know what he was supposed to do in what order. We calculated 2 PMs cost us $250,000 in losses that year. If we would have made that decision to hire them with, and not train them, and we continued to do it that way, we would have gone out of business very quickly. So we learn from our mistakes, and we're trying to help you learn from them too. ProServe Alliance, teaches one main goal when you're hiring. You don't want to hire an assistant. You want to hire someone to duplicate yourself. Now you say, I'm not going to hire an assistant. I'm hiring a project manager. He's going to manage my projects for me. And that's great that that's the goal. And that is the goal, is to hire someone to do that. But they oftentimes turn into an assistant. You are still on every job. You still know every client. You're still doing every estimate. You're still out there doing it. Now, you might bring him in to manage the crew, but you're using him as an errand boy to go out and check on the paint crew here, go order materials for this job. So it comes in as a project manager and they turn into your assistant, and they hate that job. People don't want to work for you to be micromanaged and be your assistant when you hire them to be a project manager and go run off on their own, making you money, increasing their value and their pay eventually, and be able to grow this company wide. And so one of the biggest issues, you don't want to hire someone just to be your assistant. So starting with mindset from contractors, one of the biggest mindset issues when we're going in, and we're about to go over the 3 mistakes that you make from that. So going into that though, there's a mindset that contractors have, is that it's all about the product. This homeowner only cares about the product. How many times have you completed a job and it looked perfect, and you had a client that was so angry, so upset, blowing you up on social media, writing you bad reviews, and you gave them a fantastic product? That happens all the time. That's because contractors are focused on the finished product, when the real thing that your client is looking for is the customer service process, the experience that they had in receiving that product. That is one of the goals when you're hiring, is to teach the person that you hire, your new employee, the customer service experience that you want your clients to have from day one contact with you all the way through the final invoice. If they have a good experience, they will overlook not a perfect quality product when your painter messed up or when something happened. If that experience is good, that is what they tell their friends about. If you had no customer service experience, if you had no sort of enjoyable experience with your contractor and he gives you a perfect kitchen, you're not suggesting that contractor to one of your friends or family. That is one of the keys, is knowing what you're selling. Yes, your final product is a renovation, but what you're selling is the experience for the client to get to that renovation. That is how you grow, and that is what you have to teach. So there are 3 main mistakes we're going to cover today in hiring that contractors make. Mistake number 1, hiring the wrong person. Most contractors hire for experience, not attitude. They say, okay, this guy's killer. He did this, he's done this. He ran his own construction company for 14 years. He's fantastic. He's gonna come in. I'm gonna be able to take these jobs, put it on his shoulders. He'll execute it. He knows what he's doing. You bring that person into your company, and they are going to run the company the same way that they ran their company. They've got their own processes, their own procedures, their own customer experience plan. They have all of that stuff that they're bringing with them from their previous job. And if it would have worked well, they wouldn't be coming to work for you, right? If they knew exactly a really perfect process to execute for you, they would still be running their company. So when you hire on one of a contractor that's been in the industry for 30 years, you got to be very wary of why they're working for you and why it didn't work out. I do not like hiring someone with that much experience. I would way more prefer someone who's done a year of construction under their belt and they're green and moldable over the guy that's been doing this for 30 years and knows exactly how to do it. I can teach someone the processes of how to put together a renovation. I can teach someone, the order of operations of a renovation. That is all teachable. What I cannot teach is gumption. I cannot teach attitude. I cannot teach a servant's heart towards our clients. I cannot teach core values. That is what we hire at our company. You've got to hire the person, what they do, how they do it. Their knowledge can come later. But hiring the right person that wants to learn from you and your processes when they come in with a blank slate is the easiest, best hire you can make. Now, it's going to cost you money short term, right? You can't hire that person, drop 4 jobs on them today, they start running crews. That's never going to happen. But the guy that you hire that you can drop that on, short term, you're going to make some money on. Long term, they will never be at your company. And so it's very, very important when you're hiring someone to make the right hire. There is a green, moldable new person that can come in, learn my processes, not have the old dog, trying to teach them new tricks, but really learn our processes the way we do them and the way we execute, and then slowly send them out with your clients step by step during your training process. All right, so mistake number 1, hiring the wrong person. Mistake number 2, training. All right, so you hire the right person, they're in your company, they are gonna go through training. Biggest mistake that contractors make in training is, all right, come with me, do what I do. I'm gonna show you how we run these jobs, sitting in my truck, we're gonna drive to these job sites, you're gonna shadow me for 2-3 weeks. You know what I do now, you learned what I did, great, go do that yourself. There are so many things you do in a day that they cannot capture it all or write down. And honestly, watching what you do doesn't make sense to most people. Understanding why we do what we do is how it connects so people can implement it, your employee can implement it when they turn into that project manager. So training someone has to have a plan and a process to learn exactly why you do things and how you do things as a company. They don't need to learn, they don't need to meet your crew that's out at the job and say, okay, great, you know that guy, now go take him and go do a renovation. That's not the process that you're teaching them. The process you want to teach them is how we take a client step by step through the renovation. When do we dispatch the crews? How do I find subcontractors? How do I bring in order materials? We need to teach them those processes that are all written down, so then they can take it and start implementing it in your system with your clients. All right, so that's mistake number 2 is training. Mistake number 3, not being financially prepared. This is a big one. Like I said earlier, you're overwhelmed oftentimes. I'm just going to make a hire so they can start making me money because I'm missing out on these jobs. That is not the way. You need to be financially ready to burn money for 2 to 3 months. If you are ready to say, okay, I'm going to train this person for 2 or 3 months, I'm going to pay them and I'm not going to make a cent off them. I'm going to go in the hole and invest in this person for 2 to 3 months until they start making me a penny. If you are at that spot, you're ready to hire. Going in it without the money set aside for 2 to 3 months that you can just light on fire and never see again is a recipe for disaster. Because if you need them to start making money today to pay for their paycheck, they're not going to make you money. They're going to mess your jobs up, and it's going to be a wreck. I promise you. You can't just bring someone in and give them a client and say, go do this, and it's long term. It's not going to work out. So we have some upcoming videos too. We're going to do, this is a whole series. So we're doing deep dives into who to hire, when to hire, how to hire, specifics on hiring, right? All the way down to where do you find them? How do you interview them? What's the paperwork you need? And if you're a ProServe Alliance partner with us, you get all of the paperwork. We give you all that stuff. You'll get an email with that. But yeah, that's what's coming up in the next few weeks. The final week of this series, we're going to do a interactive question and answer for our ProServe Alliance partners. You can come interact with us, ask questions. You might be about to hire. You might have some specific questions that come out of the series. You might be in a spot where, I just made 3 hires and 2 of them aren't working out. What do I do next? Whatever it is, we love to help you with it. We have seen it all. We've gone through many hires ourselves and done it the wrong way for a long time until we figured out the processes that we needed, that we want to show you how to do it. So check us out, www.proservealliance.com. And also to tell you a little bit more about us, we are a company that has we built ProServe Alliance around this software that you can take and implement on your company. We couldn't find, we started building it 8 years ago. We couldn't find a software that could take us from first contact through final invoice and everything in between and allow us to scale and grow employees inside of it. So we built it ourselves over the last 8 years for our general contracting company. Now we're sharing it with other companies to use. So it's a one-stop shop, really cool tool that you should try. We give a risk-free trial on it. So if you don't like it, if it doesn't work for you, great. But it is the only way to systematically build a company to grow beyond where you're at today. To have a software base that allows you to hire new employees, to manage them without micromanaging them. And we teach you how to implement all that. And so we take our software and then we take our coaching and our teaching and we combine them together where they really work to help build each other. So we teach you how to use the software, and then we teach you the theory of growing a company on top of that software. So it's a really cool system that we want to invite you into. You can email me if you got any questions. My email is clarkturner@ProServeAlliance.com. Shoot me an email. I love to answer any questions that you have, chat with you about issues that you're having in your company. That's it. Sign up for our newsletter. If you love these videos, you go to our website, www.ProServeAlliance.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Every single time we release one of these videos, we'll shoot it over to you in an email. We're not going to blast you all the time, but it's a good way to keep up. Whenever a new video comes out, it hits you on your phone, you can watch it. So thanks so much for watching. I really look forward to seeing you at that live Q&A at the end of the series.